I departed from Brooklyn with a group of approximately 40 all African American passengers of all ages. There were some young boys whose father and friend had felt that it was very important that they experience this moment. There was a reverend who had been jailed in Albany, Georgia with Dr. King for 6 days, and he told me that the election of Barack Obama for him represented that finally there was a sense that justice was for all. It was a tremendously spiritual trip. Many of the people told me that this was a journey towards triumph, towards victory. It was also a moment of tremendous hope. In an overall way, what struck me about this journey to Washington and these days of the inauguration was that this was not a lighthearted moment. This was a moment of profound, heartfelt emotion. I have always felt that often the real, if there is such a thing, the maybe truth of a moment related to an event is reflected in the eyes of people, the eyes that are an expression of their soul and their heart. And what I saw that morning as people waited for several hours waiting for the swearing-in ceremony, at a time when it was actually very cold, but it didn't appear that people were cold. Not only had they dressed warm, but it felt and it looked like their hearts were warm. There was also a very beautiful sense of true democracy and diversity, that the faces in the crowd, the people that I saw, were of every color and every shade and every height and every age. Right after he was sworn in, I quickly went down into the crowd, and several things struck me. One were the sort of twinkle and sparkle in people's eyes. Their eyes were lit up, they were alive. I asked a gentleman named Uta Knox, who fought valiantly in World War II as a flyer, what this moment, what this election meant to him. And he looked at me and he said something extremely powerful and simple. He said, "It means everything." He said it means everything is possible. I think everything about these past 3 days, and many people expressed this to me, was that this was a collective moment. It was a moment not really about Obama, but it was a moment about us. And it was a moment about each individual and how we're all tied together.